15-minute session. Zarco, the 32-year-old, in what's his 200-speed change of direction around this super fast assen circuit in those hard braking zones. It must feel like just somebody's just jabbing a knife into his rib cage constantly.
Yeah, man, it's one thing having a broken digit or, you know, something in your determination, hunger, skill, all blows me away. But you just said finding direction. Him and Santi and his crew, they haven't really been able to find direction with that bike since I've been watching, you know, 2018.
Marc Marquez, I think, has made it pretty clear. He's left nobody at Honda in any doubt that he expects to see some significant changes, some significant improvements at that post-race test in Misano. Otherwise, he is not, I doubt, won't we, over the next few weeks or so. But in the present, the biggest job for this man is trying to find a way through out of this high-quality Q1 session here in Assen, as again he slides the Honda through turn 12. Came into well, he ran off, didn't he, at the first corner, and Frankie Morbidelli just sitting on his rear tyre. Morbidelli knows that Zarco is going to probably be the reference rider in this session.
Good effort from Marc Marquez, you know, considering the injury there, the first time attack, really good effort.
Indicates, doesn't it, of how injury ravaged HRC have been so far this season. We wish speedy recoveries once again to Alex Rind and Joan Mir, sideline from this Dutch TT.
Shame for De Gianantonio, he blew that last sector because he was on
head down. This is where he had that scary crash, fourth gear yesterday through turn 15. No dramas this time around. He attacks hard on the front end into the timber chicane, right, left and then right. This high-speed change direction in that final sector, and that's a belting lap time. That's going to take some shifting that from Zarco.
Totally, he's moved the goalposts, and the interesting thing is going to be for second, like I was saying, the difficult
through the foot pegs, yeah.
And some of that comes from the clutch as well, because riders tell me when they do a start that the next lap or two, the heat that comes off the clutch literally burns. But what I heard, and from a reliable source, is they cut the ferry.
While everybody else was peeling out of pit lane, Zarco just jumped off his Pramac Ducati and walked the back of the garage. Does he already have the confidence and the feeling that his 1:31.993 is enough? His job done. He's going to go into Q2 and maybe just
was determined to stick to his rear wheel, and before he bailed out.
3 minutes of the session remaining, and at the moment Zarco, he's just actually peeling out of pit lane right now. Cavalier charge through from 15th to 4th place. Oliveira's going into P1 here, P2. How close was that? 900ths away from Zarco's top pace. Oh, somebody's gone down. Was that Bastian? Oh, it's Marquez. It's Marc.
Lose their second lap, you know.
Let's have a look at this one then. Oh, it's Bastianini had a massive front end moment, didn't he, there? Huge gate on the front for the beast. He was nearly down. Further around then in this first sector.
Oh, dear.
Find himself starting down in 17th place. It's got to be a long, long time since we saw Marc Marquez that far down the grid in MotoGP. Last time out at the Sachsenring in Germany, it was his first time. Look, they're both not. The thing is
completely offline. So, you know, my shutting the gas in the acceleration area thing doesn't apply there.
Though, back at the end of that session, a 1:31.993, the best time of the weekend so far. The Frenchman sails into Q2 alongside the brilliant Miguel. Season that was in round 1 in Portimao before his injury woes kicked off, and he was 4th on the grid in Portugal. So what can Miguel Oliveira do in this second session? Started that phenomenal run, isn't it? It was the beginning of a streak of 4 successive wins. He was the first Ducati rider in history to do that. A 1:31.504 put bagnaia on pole here last year. We've just seen in Q1 of Marco Bezzecchi. He's not just been fast, he's been very, very consistent in terms of his race pace. Can anybody depose Bezzecchi? Works to unfold here, don't you? Here in the Netherlands, as we follow Viñales then up through the vault. This is turn 9. This is where you really start to build momentum towards that high-speed turn number 4. This is classic old affection now. There they are, the two of them. Binder on the 33 bike there, the factory KTM. Following Bezzecchi, fires in a 1:32.235, and that puts him in P1. And that's where he sits at the moment, middle of what would be row 2 in 4th place. Somebody's gone down. In our headsets, yellow flags are out in sector 1. There was so much yellow flag drama. Oh, it's Jorge Martin.
And then attack fully hard on the second lap. They're always doing their best time on the second lap because of the temperature.
Oh, look how hard bagnaia was wrestling and muscling that packed grandstand. Is wonderful to see here in Assen. As we mentioned, there have been record crowds in Le Mans and in the Sachsenring as Quartararo starts his second run then in this Q2.
Matt, if you consider that the soft option, because I learned a fair bit, is Michelin gave me some some idea on specs. They're saying that these slick tyres are approximately 10 times harder than a street tyre.
At times,
really good.
It really does. A 1:31.770, but here comes the brilliant Bezzecchi. 5:04. Bezzecchi nearly 3/10 of a second ahead of Fabio Quartararo. Look how much time he took out of the likes of Zarco, Martin and Binder. Firmly on course for our 13th different pole setter in our last 13 Dutch Grand Prix. What a record that would be. Over the line, Bagnaia comes. Oh, that was mighty close. And Bagnaia still got 2.5 minutes of this session remaining. And Bagnaia, it's now or never then for him to make it back-to-back poles here in the Dutch TT. We'll follow the world champion through this fast turn 2. Then it starts to tighten up here around this 4.54 kilometre Assen circuit.
Aleix Espargaro, and right behind that is Maverick. So those are the boys that have pushed their way ahead of the other Ducatis.
It's pole position for Marco Bezzecchi, and this great run of different pole sitters in Assen continues then.
As well, a great afternoon.
Yeah, amazing qualifying. I think we are ready for the race. This is the most important thing now.